Alright, so today's video is going to be just a little bit different. We don't have any clips here today. We don't have any audio. We're not watching anything, but we are going to be looking at tweets. Tweets from Tim Pool. And I want to give a shout out to Chuds of TikTok on Twitter over here for bringing this to attention. But they posted a very big screenshot of many Tim Pool tweets saying, Tim's been saying civil war for over 4 years now. And the reason that they gathered all these tweets and posted this, because it is a lot of tweets, and again, credit to them, big shout out to them, is because many of you know last night Donald Trump was indicted along with a bunch of his cronies down in Fulton County, Georgia, because of him trying to steal the election. And Tim Pool tweeted out very, 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 very late last night at 2:06 a.m. You are in a civil war in response to a Mike Cernovich tweet where he says, "This is collusion. Georgia GOP politician refers to the Trump RICO indictment as our opportunity to get rid of Trump." And again, this is the focus of this is Tim Pool and how he constantly calls for civil war. Okay, and I'm going to show a bunch of tweets here. But I just want to preface it really quick by saying that if you're calling for civil war because Donald Trump is being indicted, or if you're calling for civil war because of any of the things that Tim Pool is calling for civil war for, you're literally a fucking traitor. You're a warmonger, and you should just leave. Get the fuck out. Leave this country and go live in a country that reflects what you want to live, or whatever society you want to live in, okay? Go make your own fucking country, for God's sake. So he says, you are in civil war. That's one. He also said civil war to another Trump indictment post. He just says civil war, and it's a photo here of the people that got indicted. Rudy Giuliani, John Eastman, Trump's lawyers. Here is a post from September 7th, 2022. He has a tweet here of Kathy Griffin where she says, if you don't want a civil war, vote for Democrats in November. If you do want a civil war, vote Republican. And Tim Pool says, so if Democrats win, the Republicans will not civil war. If Republicans win, Democrats will civil war. Is that right? Clearly trying to position the Democrats or the left as being pro-civil war. But again... This is a post from 2020 talking about Donald Trump, again, trying to steal the election. And Tim Pool says, so, civil war, question mark? Again, a blatant call for civil war because Donald Trump tried to steal the election and he didn't get to do it. A failed coup. And so Tim Pool says, well, Donald Trump's coup didn't work, so we'll do civil war. Total traitor. He's a fucking traitor. I don't care what anybody says. This man is an American traitor. Fuck this piece of shit. Tim Pool is a fucking low-life piece of trash. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. I don't have any other words for this piece of shit. 5 years ago, a tweet from June 14th, 2023, so this one's recent. 5 years ago, I was worried that rising tribalism and political street fights could be a precursor to civil war. We are now at the president has arrested his political rival phase. Again, no evidence. Biden is not involved in any of the investigations against Trump. Trump did all of this stuff to himself. Another tweet. This is from August 1st, 2023, just 2 weeks ago. Former President Trump has been indicted by a federal grand jury investigating efforts to overturn the 2020 election. You are in a civil war. You are in a civil war again with the Trump election stuff. Again, I don't know how many times I have to keep saying this. But if you are seriously calling for civil war because Donald Trump is getting indicted and finally being criminally prosecuted for the crimes he did commit, you're a fucking traitor and you don't care about the well-being of this country. You don't care about this country if you are calling for a civil war because of this. You don't care. If sending law enforcement to stop people from stealing ballots is considered fraud by Democrats, civil war is inevitable. November 11th, 2022. Again, with the election fraud stuff, he never quits. Honestly, I didn't think the Civil War would be ignited by people who want to give kids sex changes, but here we are, calling for civil war because of transgender people. So, so far we have Donald Trump didn't get to steal the election, so we do civil war for that. We have people that are trans existing, so we're going to do civil war for that, I guess. It's going to be funny in 100 years when they are like, a major catalyst for the Second Civil War was when Democrats demanded the right to sterilize children and amputate healthy body parts, but faced opposition from Republicans. Again, he literally wants to just do a civil war because trans people exist. If this is not the most insane batshit insane shit that you have ever seen in your life, I don't know what is. You're in a civil war again. I just it gets old when you keep saying it over and over. He's literally been calling for civil war for I don't know how long. Some of these tweets are from 2020, some of them are from 2019, some of them are from 2023. We get it. They want civil war. So, again, he's literally saying that it's the Democrats that want the civil war, really. This is a tweet from 2020. It's the Democrats that want the civil war, really. Tim, come on, man. This is the type of shit that has me saying, civil war. There is no bridging the ideological divide. Its violent extremists are destroying our cities for no reason and are supported by media, or hero tries to disarm white supremacists who is hunting BLM peaceful protesters. This is him responding to a post about Kyle Rittenhouse, who is a murderer. I am openly going to say that Kyle Rittenhouse is a murderer. I do not... I don't care what the verdict was. Kyle Rittenhouse is a murderer. Again, calling for civil war because he's literally defending a murderer here. I don't know what this tweet was. I couldn't find it, but civil war, whatever it was, clearly it's civil war. Clearly it's time to go and start a civil war. He has a tweet from Elizabeth Warren here where she says, "My goal is to get elected, but I plan to be the last American president to be elected by the Electoral College. I want my second term to be elected by direct vote." And Tim Pool says, "This is the fastest way to a civil war and collapse of the Union." I don't know how. I don't know how calling for the abolishing of the Electoral College is the fastest way to a civil war. Yeah, you're really going to have to expand on that one for me, dumbass, because none of that shit makes any sense at all. A San Fran Tech CEO just issued an email warning for civil war unless you vote for Biden. Again, just making up this blatantly false shit and saying, it's the left. It's the left that really wants to do civil war. Well, he constantly calls for an American civil war to pedophiles versus Nazis. Hillary laying the groundwork for civil war, trying to position the left as civil war once again, even though he is the one that always calls for it. Nobody on the left is calling for a civil fucking war, okay? I can't show you one person that is on the left that is sitting there tweeting out constantly, this is civil war, we need to do civil war, civil war, civil war. Come on, after that, how can y'all tell me we aren't headed for a civil war? This is just a post that says that John Fetterman has raised over $1 million since the debate. How can y'all tell me we aren't headed for a civil war? Clearly, this is means to have a civil war. And he quote tweets a Fox News article here and says civil war is here because President Biden went to Philadelphia and did a speech back in September 2022, where he talked a lot about Ukraine. Civil war. There is going to be a civil war. The New York government has just said that if you're out in support of the favored ideology, you won't be charged. Fuck this. It's all happening faster than I thought. Didn't even get the T on the end there. So, June 6, 2020, Tim Pool was saying civil war. It is August 15th, 2023, right now, and civil war hasn't happened yet. So far, Tim, you've been wrong on literally every single one of these things. I was watching a Civil War documentary, and there really are hard parallels between slavery and abortion as moral issues causing conflict. I cannot even engage with this tweet right now. Wow. If a civil war were to break out into fighting between states, I think it's likely people would say it is over abortion. So Trump's failed coup, we do civil war for that. We do civil war for trans people. We do civil war for people that want to abolish the Electoral College. And now we're doing civil war for abortion. He literally is a warmonger. This man is a fucking warmonger. He just wants to do a civil war. This man is he's not a patriot or whatever he wants to say. This man needs to leave. This man needs to be exiled from this country, okay? This dude is literally a warmonger. He keeps calling for a civil war. Dog, you are disgusting. This is terrible. If Trump gets indicted, then convicted for January 6th, Democrats then begin insurrection proceedings to remove him from the ballot. Ironic, isn't it? Post-Civil War provisions being used as weapons, which may begin a new civil war. Again, these constant calls for civil war. How can you say you care about this country when you just want to go to war? And this is the last tweet that I have pulled up, and this is not even all of the tweets. Okay, this is not every single Tim Pool Civil War tweet. This and the Obamagate stuff. Tell me we aren't in a civil war. No one views the upcoming election as legitimate. Yeah, Republicans don't view the election as legitimate because you are all constantly suck Donald Trump's cock off and literally do not have brains. But to wrap it up, there's a video on Tim Pool's channel here, literally titled "The Left is Pro-War and It's Destroying the Country," and it's him sitting here talking to Kari Lake, and a lot of it has to do with them saying that, because America is supporting Ukraine in its war against Russia, that the left is pro-war. But, please, guys, let me know what you think, or let me know what you thought about all of these totally normal tweets from Tim Pool calling for civil war, again, over Trump's failed coup, trans people, abortion, abolishing the Electoral College. I don't know what wouldn't constitute a civil war for Tim Pool. We need to start a list of what we shouldn't start a civil war for. That's going to be it for the video. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, press that little bell, turn on all notifications so you guys never miss an upload.